Next up, we've got Cheyanne Holiday, an activist, energy healer, and self-taught chef, is here today in her capacity as kitchen director and volunteer coordinator at Magnolia Sanctuary, an example of a local community-driven circular food system model. Golden Magnolia Sanctuary, the former Presbyterian church in Fairfield, serves 75 to 100 meals each night, Thursday through Saturday. Magnolia Sanctuary's operations are run by about 50 to 60 volunteers, and it is the centerpiece of a farm-to-table-to-farm circular model. If you have ever questioned whether vegan food is anything less than imaginative, stop by Magnolia Sanctuary for dinner and see for yourself. The doors are open to everyone.
Well, to start, thank you for that lovely introduction. I am indeed Cheyanne Holiday, and I'm here on behalf of Golden Magnolia Sanctuary. Switch slides, please. More specifically, I'm here to talk about the Stone Soup Community Kitchen, bless you very much, which is community-driven and run. Next slide. So before we get started, what the heck is a stone soup? So the story of the stone soup dates back to the early 1700s and is in essence a story about community. Everyone in the village adds what they can to the soup, and it turns out that each ingredient combines to make something delicious. It's a story about how when we come together and share resources, we can all prosper. When we care for one another, we can live a more fulfilling life, and that is the essence of the Stone Soup Community Kitchen. Oh, yep, correct. Next slide. We were born August 10th of 2022, so our 2-year birthday is coming up. And like it was mentioned, we're open. So at the beginning, we were open Wednesday to Friday, but now we're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5:30 to 8 p.m. And our meal count has risen recently. We're averaging more of about 100 meals every night. Sometimes it's 140. Sometimes it's in the 120s, so it depends, but more and more people are learning about us and coming and dining in. And yeah, we're excited to be doing this. So what are our values as an organization? Well, with united efforts, we all prosper. You know, going back to the story of the stone soup, when everyone comes together to make something, we can truly build something incredible. We are pay-as-you-may, operating under a gift economy. I'm going to go into what that means in a little bit, but it basically means everyone just offers what they can, but there's no expectation. So what we give is a gift, and you're welcome to gift us back anything you would like within our boundaries. One of those boundaries, we are vegan. We only serve plants at Golden Magnolia Sanctuary. And I'll go into that more. We're community guided and run. Like I said, open Thursday to Saturday. So tonight, if you don't have dinner plans, you could come through and get dinner. I'll be talking a little bit more about that in a moment. Next slide, which I'll have you just run through in a second because we're going to talk about how we care about our community. Next slide. Number one, we are pay-as-you-may. So the pay-as-you-may model allows anyone in the community to dine with us regardless of any financial hardships or blessings they may be experiencing. There is no requirement. No one's going to check your finances and be like, no, you're too wealthy, or, everyone is welcome through that door. Everyone is free to receive a meal or 5 or 10 or 12 for free, or they can donate whatever they want. And people tend to donate what they can. Something people will bring up is they're like, well, don't people exploit this? They really don't. People offer what they can, and when they see an organization or something being built that they want to support, people tend to support it. So with no questions asked, anyone can receive as many meals as they request. So we have like a donation box out front that people can put stuff in, but you're never confronted about money while you're there. It's just, hi, welcome in. How many meals would you like? And if someone's like, where can I donate? Then we say, oh, you can just donate there. And there's like QR codes for donating online, but no one's ever confronted with any financial barriers when they enter. Due to this, we have a whole host of folks who dine with us. We have families, students, retired folks, people experiencing houselessness, and people who are quite wealthy. Our goal to eliminate the wealth gap in our dining space is working quite well, especially on Saturday nights. You just see there's so many people in the community that gather and just dine together and enjoy, and it's been really beautiful to witness and to help cultivate. Next slide. So what we're doing is a form of mutual aid. Mutual aid is about cooperating to serve community members. Mutual aid creates networks of care and generosity to meet the immediate needs of our neighbors. It also addresses the root causes of challenges we face and demands transformative action. Specifically, we're addressing food insecurity with this project. Next slide. So what does mutual aid look like for our soup kitchen? Well, local gardeners and farmers donate a plethora of fresh produce. Last summer, we actually had so much produce donation, we were just giving away a ton of it to people who came in. We'd be like, hey, do you want a bag of produce to go home? And everyone's like, yeah, of course I do. This year, we have a bit more infrastructure. We have a couple more fridges in the back, and we have a free fridge outside. And so we're a bit more well-equipped to deal, but people have been just overwhelmingly generous with us. It looks like the over 120 community members who have volunteered with us over the last 2 years, with about 20 to 30 semi-regular volunteers. We can always use more, so if you're looking for something to do once a week or once a month, we would very much appreciate your presence with us. We have bands and solo musicians that play for those dining in. So every Saturday, a band called My Romance comes and they play, and they're so lovely. The vibes are immaculate. They set like mood lighting and they bring candles, and so you get to just like enjoy the meal of the day with like people just chatting, and there's a saxophone, and it's really lovely. I would highly recommend coming by tonight. It looks like businesses donating food, supplies, services, and equipment. We were extremely blessed in our beginning. There was a restaurant that shut down, and they donated booths, they donated fridges, they donated thousands of dollars worth in equipment, just gave it to us. And so people have just been so generous. And sometimes restaurants will donate, like at one point Taco Dreams, they'd like catered something and they gave us a ton of extra guac and salsa from it. And so just, businesses giving what they can. It also looks like people coming together to build the free fridge and the people who stock it. So if you guys have ever heard of a little free pantry, this is a little free fridge, and it also has shelves, so it's a pantry as well. But you can put perishable or non-perishable goods in it. And someone donated it to us and then came and built a little shelter around it. Anyone's welcome to come and stock it with food. And with that, it can be any food, and people are regularly coming and clearing it out. So the need is very much there. And we're one of, I believe, 2 free fridges in the area. The other one is located at CEDA, and you can just look that up on Facebook to find more if you want to. It also looks like folks buying groceries for us and donating money. So sometimes we'll post, hey, these are the groceries that we need. These are the supplies that we need for this week. And people will just go to the grocery store and buy us stuff. And that is so very dearly appreciated, because groceries are expensive, especially when it's not the summer. And donating money allows us to operate. It's a big building we're operating out of, if you saw it in the very beginning. And expenses very much do rack up. So while money is never required, it is needed for us to actually run. So donations are very appreciated. So it also looks like people picking up and dropping off food for their neighbors. So a lot of folks have people who maybe have a disability or an injury and they're not able to leave their house at the moment, or they're recovering from surgery, or they lost a loved one, or they just had a baby. And so a lot of times neighbors will come and pick up foods for their loved ones. And that's just an excellent way to help support your community. Make sure that everyone's getting good food. Next slide. So here is some example pictures of food donations that we saw last summer, and these were mostly just from the local farmers market. All that was donated in one day. Next slide. All of that was donated in one day. Next slide. All of that was donated. This was a good day. I was very happy. Okay, now we're going to be talking about our other core tenet, which is veganism. Veganism is a philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude, as far as is possible and practical, all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purposes. Okay, next slide. Number 1, we are vegan for the animals. We believe that animals are sentient beings who deserve bodily autonomy, which is a radical idea nowadays, but we stand by it firmly. 92 billion land animals are slaughtered annually for food. 92 billion, it's kind of incomprehensible, truly. 99% of meat production in the US is in factory farms, which is the CAFOs that Francis was talking about. That's 99%. It's not a small percentage, it's a vast majority. And we have no desire to contribute to the unnecessary slaughter of animals, so we simply leave them off of our plates. We are vegan for the planet. Industrial animal agriculture is one of the leading contributors to climate change, responsible for about 15.4% of global greenhouse gas emissions. That's nearly as much as the entire global transportation sector. If the world adopted a plant-based diet, we would reduce global agriculture land use by 75% and cut greenhouse gases caused by food production by 70%, which is enormous. In addition, 2.7 trillion sea creatures are killed annually, which could leave our ocean devoid of most sea life by 2048, which is really coming up. And we really want to see the seas live. I don't know about you guys. Third, we're vegan for our health and the health of our community. Plant-based diets have been proven to lower blood pressure, reverse type 2 diabetes, reduce the need for various medications, reverse heart disease, decrease cancer risk, help with weight management, improve cholesterol, improve brain health, minimize stroke risk, and increase overall lifespan. And many people, not necessarily all, but there's a lot of scientific studies to back every claim that I just made. And locally at Mira's Cafe, which is a vegan restaurant that opened last year, the head chef there reversed his type 2 diabetes within 6 weeks on a plant-based diet. Now, many people who are food insecure don't have access to healthful foods, which puts them at a higher risk for serious health conditions. And we want to be healing people with our food. We don't want to be hospitalizing people with our food. So some ways that we personally work to reduce food waste. We receive an abundance of excess produce that local farmers grow, which puts plants in the hands of the people instead of in the hands of back in the earth, I guess. However, once we're done with earth, we compost. And so we have a compost outside, so instead of throwing away food, we're returning it to the earth and helping that soil regenerate. We also have that free fridge that I talked about. So after service, if we have leftovers, we box it up, date it, and we put it in the free fridge, and people can come and pick it up at their convenience. Next slide. Also, just all the little things add up, so I'm just gonna say them here. We have a free corner, so people can donate clothes or just other items that they would maybe otherwise throw away, and that way they can go back into the community and be reused. We encourage folks to dine in to minimize the use of our to-go containers. However, our to-go containers are compostable. And when we go shopping, we use reusable bags, or we reuse the plastic bags that we shop with for people to, take with them. We also recycle. Some dreams we have for the future. We would like to turn our yard into a permaculture garden. Luckily, we are working with an MIU class to make this a reality, so that is really exciting. We would love to adopt solar and wind-powered technologies so that we're not so reliant on non-renewable energy sources. And we'd like to begin canning and hosting classes on food preservation and gardening. And we would love to renovate the building and offer temporary housing for those unhoused. That is a long-term goal, but that is something we'd really like to do. And if you would want to get involved, you can volunteer. Wednesdays, 1 to 3:30 p.m., Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 5 to 9. You could donate garden goodies, store-bought goods, or money if you're able to. You could dine with us, and if you want to learn more, go to goldenmagnoliasanctuary.org. Now we have next slide. We have a really exciting event coming up called the Midwest Veg Fest. We're going to have vendors, live music, a community mural, keynote speakers. I'm going to be giving a talk on how to open and start a plant-based soup kitchen. We're going to be having a silent auction, community dinner, live cooking demo, flash tattoos, film screenings, an after party. If you know anyone who might be interested in the Midwest, please send them our way for this. This is a fundraising festival. And yeah, that's it. Happy Earth Day. I got my 1-minute warning, so I don't think I can have any questions, but thank you for listening. I appreciate it.